Hello everyone, this is Prasanth. Welcome to the channel. So today we are going to see the very interesting topic like how the testers working in Agile and startup. If you want to learn the newly in starting testing or anything you want to mean, you want to understand how the Agile based companies and startups are working in today's world in testing. So let's jump into the topic. Like in testing, most of the companies, if you have joined last before 5 years, means there is a waterfall, agile. But now the waterfall is completely gone. Agile is also becoming old. Even when I was in the mid of my experience, I said like agile is new. But now agile also no. Like what I'm thinking, I'm going to cover how the agile is working in testing and how the startups are revamping that same thing in different way. Okay, so let's understand the agile. So how the agile works. So everyone knows agile is iterative. The same testing things like writing a designing, requirement analysis, designing, test case written, execution, and deployment. It was in a sprinted way. Okay, so it's like iterative increment slowly. Suppose you are creating a full project means like a page by page. In the page, section by section, they will keep on releasing one by one. Okay, so here how the collaboration happens, like testers collaborate with the directly the dev and product owners or business analyst anywhere. Okay, so we are closely working with the devs and product owners. Next thing is like this is yearly continuously. What is this point is like this, like similar to like before going to project is coming to testing, we are we are working with the devs and product owner before the anything is released. We have the understanding what going to come, what is this new feature is about. So it's like a user story. So everyone knows user story, right? So before going to development, everyone is given to user story. So you also have idea like what going to come, and you know what the next also going to come. Okay, so basically typically it's like 2 week 3 weeks sprint. Mostly 2 weeks sprint is my knowledge. Even 3 weeks also not much. Most of the companies are 2 weeks sprint. Okay, so 2 weeks means suppose if I starting on every Wednesday release means every second week of that month the release will happen. Okay, every 2 weeks once. Okay, in this automation and manual work together. Always 1+1. The n+1 like n is the current week they do the manual testing. In n+1 the previous week they will do the automation. Okay, so how this work, like sprint planning, daily stand up, sprint review, retro. There's 4 meetings. Sprint planning is happen initial of the project. Daily stand up happen on all the all the 2 weeks. Sprint review this end of the sprint review and retrospective both happen together. Okay, next how the startup works, because I'm working in startup last 3 years. I was completely in a startup. So startup is like differently more enthusiastic, I always say. Here there is no proper meetings. We never do the proper meetings much. So we have the release meeting that day. We have a VM meeting, and sometimes we are 1 or 2 calls. If anyone saying like Prashant, how many calls in your office means, Monday we have one half an hour call, and Thursday we have one hour call on release. That's it. The entire week I have only 2 official meetings. So here we won't spend much time on meeting. In startups we never have thought about that. If you want anything clarity, you have one like intermediate call with what the person was you want to talk. Don't need to keep everyone in the meeting, wasting everyone's 1 hour. Suppose take an example. Every 1 hour is a meeting. There is 20 people means you are wasting 20 hours of call. Because out of 1 or 2%, remaining people are sticking ideally in agile method. In startup, we don't do that one. Okay. And in my company, every Thursday release, every week, even the new chatterlab launches, every 2 days we will do CP. Every day CP. Like CP means like cherry picking. Something is new fix, new features. We don't wait for even a week. That day they will add a development. The same day they will do a tester. Even testing is only 1 hour or half an hour. After that, release it the same day. Okay, and most of the companies one QA. So in my entire company we have only 3 QAs. Entire company we have only 3 QAs, because the one person can do the automation, manual, regression, sanity, so everything for multiple products on one QA. Okay, and next one is this is the we will get idea. Mostly startup is will start with one idea how the startup works, and every week or every new features we will get a new input from user point of view, or the company vision will change. We will add another feature. So we don't know what's going to be our next month plan. So next month a new thing will come. So that make you enthusiastic always. Mostly here is manual testing, because every day it's a new feature or something new means you cannot waste your time writing a script and testing it. Directly you do testing. And exploratory testing. I will teach you what exploratory testing more deeply in startup way in the coming slides. Okay. Next, what are challenges faced in Agile? Why I said like Agile becoming slow or like older means there are so many issues and challenges in Agile. First is changing requirement in a mid sprint. The problem is even Agile is becoming smaller from waterfall, but that also become 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, after 1 week, there is a change means what will happen? It will make another year and like unpredictable another week, right? Next one is unclear acceptance criteria. What is it acceptance criteria means? You want to understand if you have user flow as a login flow means what are the acceptance criteria when the user put the username and password and clicking on the login should go. So this is one like a simple acceptance criteria. Problem of Agile is it will have like due to the future sometimes we don't know what are things it cover. That is the Agile's thing. And tight release deadlines mostly in 2 weeks of the release. What you will do, you will get a time for testing is 1 or 2 days only. Even though there is a 2 week sprint, the testing time is only 2 or 3 days because first 1 or 1.5 weeks the developer will develop the product. In the meantime we will do the automation or some things, and only last 2 or 3 days before the release we'll get the product completely for testing. So that is a tight deadlines. And it depends on automation for regression only. In Agile the first thing of automation is regression. But if regression script is getting failure due to the automation, that's the biggest trouble. We want to like put so much time fixing those issues. Or suppose a new feature is came, it is updated on the previous feature means we will spend most of the time for automation updating. Okay, and here the balancing quality versus spend. Okay, so what is this quality here? If you are want to give you a correct product, that means quality. You want to test properly. What is speed? Due to when you increase in the quality of checking, the time will increase. So that to balance that one is tougher in Agile. Okay. So now see what are the challenges faced in startup, but this is not a challenges. I always tell you, the testers want to migrate. How you people migrate from waterfall to Agile? Now you guys want to understand the future of the QAs. You want to migrate from Agile to startup basis. Then only you can survive right now. Okay, don't think like writing a test case for a couple of days, checking the review of test cases, then testing the test cases. It become older way. Okay, what are things means testing incomplete builds. The problem it is in my company we have one feature means we will test the feature, but that feature alone is not a product because so many features going to add in the same place. But thing is right now this is only ready, we want to release it, so test that alone which is working condition. The remaining things we will release it in coming days or coming week. Okay, so that's what it works, but it's not a failure, but that's how the company works. Lack of documentation. Yeah, as I said, we won't spend time to write documentation, creating a test closures. This is all waste of time. In startups I won't spend money on doing documentations. Next one is no separate QA environments because we will directly test in the dev to product. Even I will test most of the things in prod only. Okay, but when I was in service companies, we never touch the prod. We only focus on QA environment. Here, they don't do those things. Like they will keep on pre-prod, prod. Okay, sometimes staging. Okay, next one is like what is QA where multi-flat? What it means? Sometimes you are want to support. What is support here? Suppose your product has customer issues. The customer sent you a message to the your like team. We have mail, right? Every company has one mail. Like send the issues in the mail. So the QA want to read the mail and understand what the failure is the user has. So you want to do work as support. Next one is BA. QA has the capacity to act BA because you know the product, right? So you will act a business analyst, and as usual you are a tester. Okay, so in startups, don't stick like I'm a tester. I don't know this one. I don't know that one. No, you want to take responsibilities. You are the kind of next to CEO in quality was. Okay. Next one is zero to write no test case. Zero time means in my company there is no test case, there is no scenario. Once you get the product, take 3 to 4 hours, spend your full timing, focus on the expert testing, test it properly. Okay. First is happy path. You want to make sure the happy path is never get issue. What the happy path here? The happy path is the product suppose you are going to cart means it never want to fail in that portion. Okay, there is a negative flow is failing is a secondary, but the positive will never get failed. Okay, The next, what are the skills must be in Agile? Even some people are want to Agile interviews, or some people are going to interview for Agile. First is, as a QA, the only thing and main thing is communication skill. So you want to have we have very strong communication skill. Next is rapid story level design. So it means once you get a story, you have that idea for the test case design, everything in Agile. So you want to understand the story clearly with visualizing the application and ability to think in short cycles. Cycle means two week cycle. You don't want to think like a month, 2 months, 3 months. Think your mindset to be what you can be able to do in the 2 weeks. 2 weeks, okay? And automation basis for fast feedback. So this is you want to do automation for Agile most of the times, okay? And collaborating daily with the team. If you want to have a knowledge of the application, you want to collaborate with the dev, collaborating with your scrum master, collaborating with your business analyst, CEO, CTO, whom are you talking? You want to collaborate with them daily. That's why we have a daily stand-up. Okay, that's it. So, what are the things you want to start up? Startup is most enthusiastic. Don't take anything taking time. That's the tagline I want to say. If anything taking more time, don't do that in startup. First thing is adaptability and speed. More than adaptability, speed. You want to close this your QA thing as soon as possible and release it. That is startup's first. You want to keep in mind. Next is here I will teach you what is expertly testing. So what is regular testing means when you want to order a product in Amazon, what you'll do? Just click on the login, add a cart, add to product, go to cart, from the cart checkout. That is it. As a thing like you will write it as a test cases, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and like that. But expert testing is you want to keep your mind open, think creatively. Okay, I want to add some product in cart. What are the ways I can think? Add multiple products, increase the same product, increase the count, decrease the count, delete it, add multiple things, making hanging, refreshes whenever you want. So this is like expert your application. You are playing with your application. Okay, in the payment, while doing a payment, cut your Wi-Fi and see what is happening, how your application is working. Okay, when you are login, make some invalid login. Okay, when you are putting up payment, like something you want to explore what my application is capable of, like in the intelligence way. Okay, so you want to be more creative and faster. That's the exploratory testing, exploring your application with the various like knowledge. Okay, like good one. Okay, next is risk based testing prioritization. What is risk based means? You want to think, suppose in my application there is a LLM. Every LLM have the compute points. Okay, so that means compute points means that it will take some money. Your LLM takes money. So for every search in the chat, so you want to visualize what could be I can go to the max. So if it max means my application is stopping when I go max because that's the money. If I make that very liberal means what will happen? Everyone will populate or traffic of my application. So how it's conditioning? The payment process is how it's critically is working. Or the basic of when I'm creating a new image or I was creating a PDF means how much I can able to do. Suppose I can upload a document means how many document I can upload. What is the size of the document I can upload. So that's risk-based testing is prioritization. Next, fast, speed, you are thinking the same word. Okay, you want to be faster. But informal bug reporting. That means you don't need to write tons of lines of to reproduce what it came, spending 30 minutes for one ticket to create. I mean, no. You want to put all your daily, you want to find 10 to 100 bugs. Put it Slack directly to the developer. See this, I'm facing this issue. Go to the next one. Put it, I'm facing the issue. So you want to find more bugs to faster way instead of spending your time in documentation. Next is business understanding. So this is the crucial thing. Suppose if you are testing one application means you have the application of, suppose you are working in a banking startup means you want to have a good knowledge of other banks how it works. Okay, so your business you want to have clarity how the deposit things working, what are the APIs will run in backend, how the withdrawals works. Like you have the business knowledge. Suppose you are working in a search engine, how ChatGPT is working, how Group is working, how DeepSeek is working, how Gemini is working. So you should have the knowledge of business. So if you are in that case, you are a pro in the company. Next, key difference. What is the difference between these two guys? Means agile is structured, writing test cases, following daily things. Like it, even though it is smarter than waterfall, agile also nowadays become like a structured one. Okay, clear sprint goals, detailed stories, QA structured process. But our startup is minimum process. Don't do the overacting. If you are coming to today company, don't take 2 weeks to learn what your product is. Directly jump onto the product, develop, test anything you want to on the same day. Don't waste your time on reading the documents. You want to play and learn from the application, not from the documentation. Next is fast changing goals. Today we have one goal is to achieve this one, but tomorrow the new company came. Okay, that company has the same similarity of your process, means you want to go ahead one step. What, where are you? Even though that is also new, you created last week also, but this week someone has achieved. You want to be go to next step as soon as possible. So you want to be fast changing goals. Quick verbal requirements. What is quick verbal requirements? Means they don't give you the document like this is a requirement documents you want to read. No, they will give you online. Oh, see this, I want this feature, this feature we are going to implement in our product. Means you should have the creativity. Okay, suppose company is saying I want to show one pop-up, okay, when the user coming first time, or when the user is logging. So you want to think, okay, as a QA, okay, I'm coming first time, this pop-up is coming. Okay, what I can come again? This pop-up should not come, but it's coming means what? That is an error. So, but how you understand it? You got one liner, the pop-up should be there, but you want to have creativity. So from the one line verbal requirements, you want to understand the project. Next one is time for regression testing, because you have 2 to 3 days. You do the slow regression, separate QA automation team, like one function team, one automation team, one mobile team, one API testing team. Multiple QAs in Agile. But in startup, you are Superman. You do the manual, you do the automation, you will do API testing, even you can do the supporting, even you sometimes become a CEO to act, because that's at the there's no limit. Okay. Next is final thought. What is final thought? Means please be a faster thing. Don't work for 12 hours. You never give success in your life. You can work 12 hours with various work, but not with the one work. You want to understand. Some people think like I can work for 2 hours, enjoy for 22. No, you can work 15 hours per day, but not on one thing. You can have multiple creativity. Go, I have 2 hours gym, 2 hour some business, 4 to 5 hours my job, family time for 4 hours. No, that kind of things you want to increase. Not only some people think like smart people means they work only 2 hours, they will enjoy. No, you want to have everything. Okay. Next, that's Agile gives structure. Startup is tech survival. If you want to survive in a future AI engineering, AI revolution, follow some startup things sooner. Next, be ready for both environments. Okay, mindset of fast thinking. So what the fast thinking means? Don't, if you one person is giving a task, means don't think a process. What I will do? I'm a QA. I want to follow this. No, adapting and fast thinking is the most key. Next one is become a problem solver. Problem solver means what? You should have a proper knowledge on the problem. Then you will become a solver. Okay, so understand all the business logic, everything, the problems. Even suppose the user is saying, developer saying, see man, I added one form, so test it. Means don't go give few inputs, clicking on that button. Okay, can't say like, you can't say like it's working. No, you want to think you're okay, what could happen if I give invalid, what I could refresh it if I'm storing it, what I have keep giving the repeating the same data. So you want to think like that. Okay, not like a just tester. You want to be a pro. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. You can ask any question on this one, like how startup works, or any real time also. I have more tons of experience to explain you guys. Thanks for watching.